that. That's cool. Hi guys, Captain Foley here with you again for another continuation. Continuation of the earlier live that I was doing. Figured I'd come hang out with you guys yet again, and yeah. So, welcome back. Good to see you. Everybody, hit that like button. You know you wanna. You know you do. SC Silk Guy. I actually got a notification for this. It really just says I went live. Perilous Turtle. And Feed Me Seymour. Good to see you guys. Everybody hit that like button. I don't know if you've done that already. If you have, good. If you haven't, what's wrong with you? Hit that like button. All right. Well, no agenda on these as to what we're talking about. It's kind of whatever comes up. Had a really good conversation earlier about a bunch of different stuff. So if you can think of something, let me know. Live again? Yes, live again. Why not? All right, so there we go. Your twofer. That's right, it's a twofer. The pug is snoring. The pug is snoring. The pug is over here in the chair. But this can be expected with the pug. Lots of snoring. Not a banned account, $2. Will we ever see a Trekyards version Enterprise G? Trekyards version? Maybe. That'd be interesting. So cheers to you, not a banned account. Oh, my shirt looks really dirty on the live. It's not dirty, but it looks dirty. I was watching you earlier live and got the notification through Facebook, not YouTube. That's interesting. SC Scout Guy Stewart, did you know the Kobayashi mural actually wasn't real? What? Oh yeah, we had a conversation about that earlier. Kinda some fuckery going on there. But yeah. Not a banned account puts in $2. Is it true Canadians aren't allowed out at night? In Quebec. So they're not really Canadians. They're Quebecois. And yeah, they have like a 10 o'clock curfew or something during COVID. Doesn't apply here, so it's fine. But it's kind of true, I guess, because it is just Quebec. But it's Quebec, so. Rest in peace, Bob Saget. Yeah, I saw that. Olivia Julius, $5. Puggy snoring, the best ASMR audio ever. But thank you, Olivia. I'll have a drink for that. How was dinner? Dinner was very good. Wait, didn't this live stream end like 2 hours ago? This is part 2. I'm back, baby. Figured I'd do a little bit of another live stream to hit different time zones and stuff, because really I don't have anything else to do. I just go kill time right now watching YouTube or something, but I figured why not do something productive and come and talk to you guys. So here I am. You better appreciate it. Foley, the next generation. Not quite, not quite. Eric says, as the saying goes, rinse and repeat. How was your dinner, Eric? Hopefully it was good. Hopefully you didn't burn it or anything. But yeah, welcome back. Captain Robert April, live stream 2, The Wrath of Dessert. Feed Me Seymour, how's the basement refit? Very good, and I'm glad you asked, actually, because I got some shelves up to yesterday for my model table, above my model table, so I got all my model kits up there. It's looking really nice. I'm going to be doing an update video soon. I still have some stuff to organize and get looking good, and then I'll do an update video for you guys for sure. So it is going well, so thank you for asking. But yeah, that's the sitch. Not a bad account puts in $2. What is the most Canuck looking UFP starship class? The most Canuck looking. The Parliament class from Discovery, or not Discovery, from Lower Decks, maybe? I actually don't know. That's a good question. A good question. Geraldine says, my dang badge thing doesn't show. It does. I see it right beside your name. Oh, now it did. Never mind. Fleetpaw says, guess who's back? Back again. Fleetpaw's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Ah. Squadron Course. The Foley class? No, the Foley class is not the most Canadian looking starship ever. SC Scout Guy has joined the channel at the rank of Commander. Welcome, SC Scout Guy. Good to see you. Thank you so much. The Freedom class? Maybe, but no. Hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it. So, Eric says, I didn't burn dinner. Cleaned up and loaded dishwasher, and now I'm tired and couch bound. And you chose to watch me. Of all the people, all the things on the YouTube is, you decided to watch me. I feel honored. I think my tripod's a little crooked, but that's okay. My cheese, bro. Are you part of Section 31? I'm not carrying my black badge to show everybody, so no. Captain Robert April, which ship looks like some back bacon? That'd be a Canuck design. Turd says, what is that over your right shoulder? Is that an old school tuner? It is a record player, radio, CD player, and cassette player all in one. Oh, and it has Bluetooth too. So that's what that is. Libby says, I don't know, the Foley class is kind of weird. You're saying Canadians are weird? I should kill you. Feed Me Seymour, Canuck looking ship. Excuse me. What ship looks like the saucer of a giant hockey puck and then it sells our hockey sticks and has a poutine restaurant? It could be anything. Any Star Trek ship. I figured 5+ years of watching, I should finally figure out how to join. Thank you, SC Scout Guy. Is that, hold on, what the hell is happening? I gotta check the moderator chat. I don't know who's leaving and who's in. Who's taking in? Who's taking in? Come on, come on. There it is. All right. So it looks like Fleetpaw's staying. Okay, I thought Fleetpaw was leaving. See you later, Olivia. Sleep well. I just hit the like button. The effort itself completely exhausted me. Thank you, Dax and Bashir. Eric Martin says the USS Sorry. That's what it would be called, yes. For sure. Definitely Canadian. USS Jim Carrey. Sorry about that. USS, sorry about that. USS John Buchanan. Tag, you're it. Olivia, good night, Captain. May puggies find you in your sleep. Oh, yes. Good night, Olivia. See you later. Fleet Plus says, I'm in, Foley. SC Scout Guy, HMCS Rob Ford. Oh, fuck you. Captain Robert April, USS Mackenzie with 2 shuttlecraft, Bob and Doug. I like it. Squadron Course. Night, night, Olivia. Stay safe out there. Feed me Seymour. Actually, what's the ship that Riker served on with the bold guy from Lost? Stuck in a meteor? That ship has a nice Canuck feel. With the bald guy. Oh, that's the Pegasus. USS Pegasus. An Oberth class ship. Fleet Paw says, we must destroy the HMCS Rob Ford. Locks quantum torpedoes and fire when ready. Yes. Has there been a USS Ticonderoga? There's been many. Yes. Turd says, most Canadian starships, Galaxy class. So it's so chungus that we bump into everything and constantly be saying, sorry, sorry. Sure. Yes, an Oberth class. The Pegasus was an Oberth class. Yes. Like in Star Trek 3, the Grissom. SC Scout Guy, yes, the entire class of cruisers the U.S. Navy currently operates is the Ticonderoga class. There you go. But yeah, there's been some Star Trek Ticonderoga classes or USS Ticonderoga in beta canon and stuff, so yeah, it's kind of a popular name. The Give Birth class. No. Just realized I still haven't dusted in here in a while. I need to dust. But there's lots of things to dust. Oh well. Send super chats if you are able. Let's get him buzzed again. Disgobulous. Ooh, I like that. It's like, I am globulous. Cobra, la 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 la. Who do you think won the Stanley Cup this year? I don't fucking know. Somebody. Some kind of fucking ice sticky team. I don't know. I have no fucking idea. Turd says, now someone tell us who Oberth was 10 seconds ago. Ticonderoga is upstate New York, though. It is. Oberth, Alberta. Yeah, it's Canadian. Squadron Course, it's funny how the visuals in the shows always make the ship look close, but if you think about the speeds and weapons ranges, they'd be far, far apart. Yes, they would be. They'd be very far apart. Cobra, la 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 la. The obese class. That's the American. That's an American ship. Captain Robert April, Hermann Oberth, German rocketry pioneer. Bum, bum, bum. There you go. Hashtag solved. Yeah, so I even changed the up to way I was sitting here, which is kind of weird because my drink's on my left, which is not cool, but gives you guys something new to look at, I guess. Some of Sylvia's plants and all of her hangy things in the window. But that's aight. Still a bit of a mess up here. We got all the pictures and stuff that were on the wall leading downstairs up here that I gotta get rid of. Not get rid of, like not give away, but find new homes for them. So I'm staring at things I don't like to stare at, which is mess. It's actually not that bad. But the fuck you class? No. War God 6. There are odds for the Colorado Avalanche to win the cup, and I'm for that, as I was a Quebec fan through the Colorado till Sekic A few others retired, haven't been the same since. Wings won the cup. Sure, those are words that are said. Captain Robert April, I feel I should be saying sorry for the USS starting the War of 1812 by invading Canada. Yeah, but we're not going to say sorry for burning down the White House, so fuck you guys. Turd Ferguson, Fort Ticonderoga was a Revolutionary War battle, ironically won with the aid of Bend the Dix Arnold. Ha ha. Yeah, I've been to Fort Ticonderoga. Ticonderoga is where the James Colley's TOS Enterprise bridge sets are, so we've gone to Fort Ticonderoga a few times when we went to visit, so. Are you Turd Ferguson or Burt Reynolds or Norm MacDonald? No, no, and no. Oh, you're talking to Turd Ferguson. I'll be quiet. Feed Me Seymour says, I see looking out your window, your home is stuck in Discovery Season 4 DMA void. Yes, this is a fact. My cheese bro, what in Star Trek constantly uses cloaking devices when they always find a way to detect the cloak ships? Oh, why is Star Trek constantly? Because. Captain Casey Stewart, Captain, do you wish they made the refit Enterprise Hotel in Vegas? Yes, I do. Yeah, we had that coming. We burned down Parliament first. Yeah, but nobody gives a fuck about Parliament, so. Well, hello there, says Trekyards. Funny, I would expect General Grievous to say that. I know that Obi-Wan Kenobi said it, but we have a regular that joins the lives. That's General. Never mind. White House wasn't white till the burn. Guess they didn't see the Canadian Kelpian coming. Weren't there some TOS sets in Oklahoma City? If so, are they still there? Some in Georgia. I don't know where in Georgia, but yeah, that's the Star Trek Continues ones with Vic Mignogna. Eric Martin, Captain April, you did well on the Great Lakes. Ooh, Fleetpod been putting one of the Ticonderoga videos. Fleetpod, you're bucking for a raise or some shit. But no, keep it up. You're doing good. Well, submarines were said to be stealthy, but they still find them, and they still build them. Those sets are in Little Rock now, says Captain Robert April. Turd says, funny how they used only Discovery's cloaking device once, and nothing. Yeah. A lot of things Discovery does is funny, but words and things. Words and things are hard. And he includes the Ticonderoga question and A from 4 years ago. Well, there you go. Thank you very much, Fleetpod. Squadron Course, Captain Robert Abel, thanks for the info. That's still close enough to drive up and see them someday. Well, there you go. I don't know how long this live is going to be. I'll probably come up for an hour or so, depending on if we get a good vibe and we get a good, things get rolling along. We'll see how it goes. But yeah. Don't forget to super chat if you want me to drink. They used to be from Starship Exeter. Feed Me Seymour. See, if you was going to make a Star Trek hotel, sure the Enterprise-sized hotel would look cool, but Earth base, the mushroom floating base, would work well as a building on Earth. Yes, it would. Yeah, Space Dock or Starbase 1. Yes, I agree. Or the Enterprise D, like I said. But can't really build those structures in gravity, so yeah. Did you fix the TOS captain's chair? Was it broken? You came to see it last time. You don't think it's broken? Oh, the chip out of it? No. I don't know what the fuck happened. That was somebody moving it in and out of the storage unit. Must have been because, anyway, yeah, no, that's not fixed yet. It's going to be like in the spring. We're going to pull the chair out and do a complete overhaul on it, repair that, carpet the base, put gray carpet down, repaint it, fix when there's a spot in the seat that might be starting to come apart a bit, so we might fix that. Yeah, we got to do some. We're going to have a TOS chair spa day in the spring, which I'll probably film. Oh yeah, we'll get out of the unit and we'll fix it up. So, Squadra course puts in $1. That's enough for a drink. Sandable body filler. Yep, probably use something like that. Trek or not, seen Ghostbusters Afterlife tonight, and oh my god. Oh my god. Good movie. Robert Rose Jr. Hello, Captain Foley. So, Bob Saget has passed away also. Yeah, I saw that. It sucks. Wasn't really a Bob Saget fan, though. So. I'd rather see Star Trek The Experience come back with more TOS vibe. Maybe set it on K7 instead of DS9. Yeah, they need to do something, even with Star Wars. Like, yeah, they got Galaxy's Edge, but that's, you know, it's all the new Star Wars shit, like the New Republic, and they need to go to classic Star Wars stuff. I don't think the experience, Star Trek The Experience in Deep Space Nine was a bad thing at all. But yeah, TOS, you should have the option. You should have like a TOS K7 style bar and the Quarks bar kind of vibe. That'd be kind of cool. Disney bringing back X-Men animated from the 90s. Would you like to see the Star Trek animated return with classic Trek crew? Or would there be... that would be a hard no. No, I'd love to see that come back. I think it'd be great. Actually, I'd like them to take the original animated series and use all the sounds, except for that fucking music. I can't stand the music. But they would use that. That's fine. And all the audio, and just make new animation style for it. Like, you know, CGI would be cool. Chair A refit, yes. Did you ever make a video about the idiotic docking system on DS9? It's been pissing me off since the 90s when the crew presumably crawl into the station through deflector dishes or torpedo tubes. You haven't done a video about that, no, but yeah, it's weird for sure. A theory about warp scale, which makes everything on screen make sense. What it is not a velocity but acceleration, warping time rather than speed, so that the further you go, the faster warp 10 is. Yeah, because even in the cage, you're like, we've broken the time warp barrier, the time warp factor, or whatever the fuck they say, the time thingy. It's like, did you now? Good job. I wish they could bring back Spring Star Trek The Experience back. I agree. Nothing better than classic Trek. Love the aesthetics. Amen, brother. Are you talking about the Defiant? Yes, he is. Majestics mapping. This has been on my mind for weeks. In a hypothetical scenario, who would win in a war? The Crown Imperium, over 200 star systems, 900 planets, thousands of work-capable vessels, versus the Federation? I would say the Crown Imperium would. Not a bad account, $2. Have you seen the Thetis Lake Monster or Caddy in real life? No. Where is that? Squadra Course. Not to be a hater, but the Star Wars Hotel at Disney just doesn't look that good to me. No, it doesn't. It's not being a hater. There's a lot of videos about that right now. The Galactic Star Cruiser. But I hate when people say, oh, it doesn't look like Star Wars, it looks like something out of Star Trek. Because, yeah, no, it doesn't. Just for the record. Whatever. Turd Ferguson, since the profits are non-linear, why not have Avery Brooks show up in Disco? Because Avery Brooks will not return. That's why. Trek or not, a ski resort modeled on Echo Base on Hoth. Maybe in northern Canada or Alaska would be sick. Yeah, man. Squadron course, they might have been better off with a regular hotel and some kind of Star Wars experience. Possibly. The old Star Trek maps had a pretty good explanation of how warp speeds work in an introduction to navigation booklet. It's not just the warp factor cubed times speed of light. Keeping Up with the Cardassians, a reality spoof take following Garrick and the fashion line and his fashion line. Disgobulous. Yeah, the Defiant Deflector Dish, Klingon Birds of Prey, that plasma torpedo tube. Yeah, well, it's not plasma torpedo. Klingons don't have plasma torpedoes. It's a photon torpedo launcher and a bird of prey. It's also local mass density, interstellar gas, etc. Harrison Wells says, Captain Foley, which class ship would you want to command from the TMP era? The Enterprise class, otherwise known as the refit, otherwise known as the Constitution class refit. Mike Cherist, I'm on serious Stargate binge. Any thoughts on what streaming service to go for Atlantis? MGM. The MGM streaming service has all of the Stargates, except for Universe, I think. Robert, Cool Channel New. Hi. Hi, Robert, Cool Channel New. Welcome. Feed Me Seymour, although Kirk's son died, couldn't they find a way to bring him back, or would you prefer him to stay dead? Let's keep him dead. Let's keep the dead people dead. Otherwise we get some, Pet Cemetery type shit going on. Fleet Paw throws in $2. Guess who almost drowned? Water and lungs don't mix. Would that be you? And what happened? I feel like this is a very Canadian beer. It's got a Canadian maple leaf with a beaver. Sleemans. Eric Martin, I love the Gorn action figure. They nailed it. Oh, the big one? The Mego one? Yeah. The Diamond Select one is better, but it's not as big, obviously. Trek or not, oddly, there's a time barrier. As mass approaches the speed of light, the energy required to continue increases exponentially. Represented virtual barrier equals MC. Yeah, don't care. I get it, but it's... Black Dragon 73, hello Captain. Since now the protostar is in the Gamma Quadrant, does that mean they'll encounter the Dominion? Probably not, no. Jeremy Caulfield, especially considering how much Disney wants to change, not worth it. Squadron Course says, I started swimming lessons this weekend. I'm so tired and sore today. LOL. Yeah, if you haven't swam for a while, swimming can definitely work out your entire body. I grew up with a pool, like a Olympic-sized swimming pool my parents had. And I swam almost every day. So I love swimming, but I have not swam in a long time. And then this summer, a friend of ours just bought a house last year, and they had a pool, so they invited me over. I went over and was swimming all afternoon. And the next day, I had a deep ache in my shoulder. I was sore all over. So yes, it can do that to you, for sure. Not a band account, $2. Have you seen a UFO? Are any of them real? I've seen a lot of UFOs, which are things I can't identify. Do I actually think they're UFOs? Yeah, some of them probably. I definitely believe in that shit. I saw some really weird ones when I was a kid out of my bedroom window. And it happened like 4 nights in a row. There were little blue lights, like just over the tree line. And there was about 4 of them, 4 or 5, depending on the night. And they would move back and forth. Then they would merge together, and they'd stop, and they'd either like fade out, or on one particular night, it just went and was gone. It was weird as hell. Of course, I didn't have a camcorder or phone, obviously, or nothing like that when I was a kid. So I told my brothers about it. They thought I was crazy. I told my parents about it. They just thought I was seeing things. But yeah, I've seen some shit. Phoebe Seymour says, "Baby, it's cold outside." OG Skywatch. The whole concept is flawed. A being can't visit another planet. The unique biosphere of gases and viruses, etc., would kill them quick. Reality is UAPs or AI and can possibly be hybrid, in my opinion. Trekyards says Count Kirk Sonola. Yes. Robert April says I should do a video on how ship classes work and how can you have an Enterprise class and a Constitution class refit. Well, you can't really, but you can. The reason they went with that originally is because the Constitution class refit was so overhauled for the Enterprise, became its own class style, which became the Enterprise class. Then when they built new ships, new builds of the Constitution class refit, those were called the Constitution class refits. Originally, though, they were all just called Enterprise class, and one of these publications has that shit in it. I'd have to find it. But yeah, that's kind of the Enterprise class thing. Fleet Paw said, I took a drink from my cup and breathed it in instead of drinking it. Well, that was stupid. Colin says, LOL, Star Trek The Walking Dead. I'd probably watch it. What is the one reference you would Lower Decks do that they haven't done yet? Oh, one reference? I don't know. There's so many that would be good. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Stanislav Kosternov. Captain Robert April, yes, scales, cubes, and logarithms would not work like it seems to do in the show. I am still trying to figure out how they get the scale that goes from finite to infinity. Don't know. It's real science. I don't care. Just make it happen. V'ger versus Whale Probe. V'ger. Robert Rose Jr. Water and lungs don't mix, correct. Then why do so many people vape? Explain that one. Eric Martin. If the astrophysics chat is continuing, I'll need a few drinks. Right? Turd says swam or went swimming. Grammar. I swam a lot when I was a kid. I also went swimming a lot. They both work. Best not to mix up drinking and breathing. So where in the Delta Quadrant was Protostar for it to reach the Gamma Quadrant? Not very up on Trek Galaxy Map. We don't know where they were. That's the thing. They could have been right near the edge of the Gamma Quadrants. They could have been deep in Delta Quadrant space. I don't know. We don't know. They never clarified. The key word is UFO. In UFO is unidentified, as in no idea what the hell that is. Yes. Turd says the lights were a CIA experiment on you combined with cow farts. Yes. Say Mars becomes a utopia. If you had the opportunity, would you move to Mars, stay on Earth, or become a captain of a transport ship traveling between the two planets? I'd want to be traveling between the two. That way you get the best of both of them. Plus all of the quiet of the interstellar trip. Yeah, Trek often plays kind of fast and loose with things like ship classes. Yeah. Advanced UFOs probably have anti-detection technology, at least via a camera. We can almost do it today. Ship classes have as much to do with the capability of a ship as with the class of what she looks like. Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise is where they mention Enterprise class, I believe. That's one of the places. There is another one, though. I think it's the Starship Dynamics book. Is it? Could be in the spaceflight chronology as well. I don't remember. I'd have to take a look, and I don't want to look right now. Romulans, how much warbirds does it take to run a blockade? Data, hold my salinity cooling fluid. Blah, blah, blah. Words. I understand that Goa'uld, when they speak in their native tongue, is that bad? Probably. I still want to hear the TOS fight music in lower decks. Hope they are listening. Dun, 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 dun. Not a band account, $2. Has the Canadian government made first contact? Probably. You see, there was an alien crash, much like Roswell. The UFO crashed. There were survivors. We went up to them and we were like, we're sorry. We're sorry that our planet was here. We're sorry that it's your country, that it's our country that was in your line of sight that you crashed into. We're sorry. That's what happened. Jeremy says, wouldn't move to Mars. I like my skies blue. Blue skies. Da-na-na-na. Nothing but blue skies. Do I see one? Mr. Scott's Guide is working from a totally wonky timeline and also shoehorns in Transwarp drive. Okuda didn't have that on the original graphics. Yes, he did. They're in Star Trek 4. When they get the Enterprise at the end, the graphics behind Spock actually do say Transwarp drive. You can ask Mike Okuda. That was soon taken out. And I love the explanation for Star Trek 5 why the Enterprise is such a god-awful fucking mess. It's because they had to rip out all the Transwarp systems because the Transwarp whole experiment thing proved to be a failure. So they ripped out all the Transwarp drives, units, and systems and reincorporated the old ones. That's why the brand new Enterprise that you see in Star Trek 5, half the doors won't open because they replaced everything. Mike says, Unak Shakari Shaguld. What is the best encyclopedia book on all Trek ships? Ooh, there's no one book. There's not just one. OG Skywatch. Apparently, this shit got deleted by accident. Captain Casey Stewart, captain of the USS Pasteur, an Olympic class? If so, I wonder, would there be an Olympic, Titanic, and Britannic? Not probably, no. Didn't they invoke the music when Ransom fought the big alien? Similar, but not the same, no. Lower Decks, animated series crossover, make it so. They already kind of did, but yeah, they need to do a time travel episode where they go back and actually run into the... That'd be fucking neat, actually. Smart Smears, tell him, please tell me I'm mistaken, and the Covenant Enterprise isn't bigger than the Enterprise D. You are not mistaken. It is bigger than the Enterprise D, because JJ. Yeah, it's bigger. French Canadians are actually Vulcans. When they gave them the finest of maple syrup and Eisenhower beer. Eisenhower beer, not Eisenhower. I was always interested in the science part of the earlier Star Trek. Tried to do headcanon on the various technology, trying to figure out how it could work. They had many science majors on the team. They did. I was thinking that French Canadians were Tellarites. Ooh. I was pretty sure they altered those graphics for the book. No. It was actually Transwarp. It was going to be the new thing, but it, for whatever reason, they decided not to do it. And in universe, in the novel, I believe, in the Star Trek V novel, they explain that they take all the Transwarp shit out of the ship because it was just, it wasn't what they were expecting. So yeah. And Captain Robert April, we actually talked to Shane Johnson, who is now Laura Johnson, about this very book. We have an interview with her also that we haven't released yet. where she gets the pictures and stuff from on set to. So we've talked to her about this book in particular, Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise. So, Colin Barrett. Oh, well, yes, an alien would be hoping to crash in Canada to be offered many delights with maple syrup as opposed to U.S., where if locals don't shoot them, the government will dissect them. OG Skywatch says it seems plasma like warp fields are a real thing. The AI doesn't seem to care what we think, but you can't see them unless they drop the field. Look up David Fravor if you want. Don't know who that is. General Grievous is here. Ooh, woohoo, yay, party. Was the Star Trek V warp core reused? A reuse of the D one? Or the Star Trek V one? You don't see the warp core in Star Trek V. You do in Star Trek VI, and then yes, it is a redo. It is a redress of the TNG engineering department. Abrams suffers from Star Destroyer envy. Excuse me. Oh, please, if they name the starship Titanic, it would probably last 2 seconds on screen and then blow up. Yeah, it would be the red shirt of the fleet. OG Skywatch says, sorry, it's my topic, as I'm an experience here. An experiencer. Huge Trek fan as well. Good. Lower Decks time travel episode. They end up on the same time Cisco is there, and they have to avoid Kirk and Spock. Oh, that'd be good. That'd be really good. It's like a trial and tribulations, like, crossover. Yeah. And she's identified as a Constitution class ship, not Enterprise. Different internal layout, different specs, thus different class. Yes, in the JJ universe, if your engines turn off, you will immediately plunge towards Earth while in orbit of the moon. The moon is held up by all flatulence caused by the cheese. Yeah, that's the other thing. All the power was gone. The ship like falls towards Earth. Okay, and so all the power's off. So no, I think there's actually a line dialogue that says no structural integrity field, and it falls through the clouds, and then comes back up. So it had to stop, which would snap everything off that fucking ship after it's in Earth orbit with no structural integrity field. So bullshit. Transporters are a problem. Requires way too much computer storage. For now, yes. Dave Fravor is a Navy commander fighter pilot that chased an alien aircraft. Well, there you go. Eric Martin, $2. Voice is sounding dry. It is. So thank you for the super chat. My mom thinks I was an alien in a past life. USS Titanic. V'ger, right ahead. We don't have enough Kelvin pods. Casual Trekker, $5. I hope you and Ferret can work something out, because that ups and down videos were great. So it'd be cool if you could continue that in some incarnation. I agree. We're talking to them, so. That would be kind of awesome. Captain Casey Stewart. Captain, who do we think would win? A Miranda and Constitution refit, or 2 Constitutions? The Miranda and Constitution refit. The Miranda was originally designed as the Avenger class, which was like way more powerful than the Constitution class, or the refit. Had the mega phasers. It had the fore and aft facing torpedo tubes. Like the Avenger was a beast. Then they renamed it the Miranda, scaled the power back a bit, and just became like another frigate or like a light cruiser. But it still had the more armament, so it was a scrapper for sure. But yeah, inertia is a biatch. The JJ Prize, the only version of the Enterprise that gets its ass handed to it in every battle. Yeah, it got shot more in one movie than it did in the entirety of the franchise till then. Turd Ferguson, structural integrity fields were not a Trek trope until TNG. You're asking, it's like got a question mark there. the fact is, for a starship, you need a structural integrity field. Did they mention it before TNG? Probably not. Maybe in a novel, maybe in one of the, again, many publications over the years. But yeah, I don't know for sure. But yeah, you would need a structural integrity field with any kind of starship. What does your shirt say? It says, build the ship. And it says the Enterprise Project. Build the ship, the Enterprise Project. There. Squadron course. I always thought that most of the hull's strength came from the integrity field, and when they say something that the hulls are 80%, that means the integrity field is at 80%. No, they'll say that the structural integrity field is failing. If the hull's down to 80%, that means there's stresses on the hull, and there's a lot of damage and microfractures and even some hull plates coming off, possibly. That's what the hull is down to 80%. It would make sense that it's in structural integrity field, though. I would prefer that. I don't think that's what the intention is, though. General Grievous, $2. I hope so. I enjoyed tormenting Sean with my jokes. Don't torment our guests. The movie Oblivion with Tom Cruise is realistic. A lot would depend on the captains, but the TMP era ships are more advanced than the TOS. Miranda and Connie, why else would Miranda be around in the 25th century? It's true. They built too many of them to compensate for not being able to make heavy cruisers after the events of Star Trek VI. The Oberth class, most powerful starship. Just joking. I like the Oberth class. I think it's cool. Most powerful, definitely not, but the only ship that J.J. Price defeated in battle was stuck in a black hole and imploding at the time. For a ship of that size, a structural integrity field is essential. The Enterprise D would sag under its own weight without it, even in space. Yes. Mike Charis, did you hear about the new Chinese particle they discovered? No. Is this a joke? Eric Martin, Connie refit would have been cool with mega phasers under the nacelles. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be cool. That would look cool, actually. Feed me Seymour. I would like to see concept art of what JJ would make Enterprise B look like, or B to E look like. Excuse me. Captain Casey Stewart, Excelsior and Constitution refit versus Miranda and TOS Constitution. The Excelsior and the Connie refit still, probably. Seems like it would be very hard to sum up the condition of the hull, though. You could have fit 90% hull, but if the damage 10% is a Connie nacelle, you're in trouble. Yeah. Oh, a Connie pylon, yeah. Reliant class, built to be a warship. Constitution class and Explorer. Wow. In games like Starfleet Battles and stuff, the Constitution classes were called heavy cruisers. And then you get the light cruisers, the frigates, the corvettes, the dreadnoughts. So there's the different class sizes. But yeah, it's definitely an Explorer. There's even a ship in Starfleet Battles called the Galactic Survey Cruiser, which is more in line with what the Enterprise was. So, yeah. God, I'm glad I've skipped all the usual tropes in my personal sci-fi universe. No force fields tracked to beam transporters or structural integrity fields makes avoiding technobabble much easier. Tom Cruise Oblivion might well have been called Mission Impossible in space. Yes. Would be nice to have a flashback series set in the pre-Federation universe on Kronos, like during the time of Kahless or straight after that, or a similar one set on early Vulcan. Yeah, those might be kind of cool. Those would be good for some Trek shorts or something. Would be great to incorporate that kind of stuff. Have you seen the movie What We Left Behind, Star Trek Deep Space Nine? I really liked it. I even cried a few times. Yes, I have seen that. Captain Robert April. I imagine the Starfleet Marine Corps will have would still have a few Connies around. The Marines usually don't get equipment until it's been beat up and sprung a few leaks. Mike says, no, it's not a joke. Given the time, it could be its own generation of space power source similar to the Warp Core. That's cool. Marvel's Stan Lee should have been the captain of the Excelsior. Excelsior. How was the Voyager always able to stay in such great shape after all those battles, though? It wasn't... At the end of an episode, if it was beat up, next time you see it would be like a week or two later. So they replicated the parts and went out in spacesuits and fixed the ship. That's how. There's a website where they figured out the internal volume of the ships from 3D models. If I recall correctly, the Miranda is actually bigger inside than the Enterprise. Yes, more internal volume. Turd Ferguson, in Star Trek III, the Klingons refer to the Enterprise as a Federation battle cruiser. Of course, everything's a battle cruiser to the Klingons. Eric Martin, is Eagle Moss going to do a new class version of the Excelsior in lower decks? Well, it's not Excelsior. And they probably will, yes. That's the Obina class. Galaxy and Intrepid versus Sovereign and Defiant. That's a good question. Probably the Sovereign and Defiant. Those are built for battle, specifically, and they're very maneuverable. Galaxy class could be kind of sluggish. Not really built for battle, per se. The Intrepid is, though. It's very maneuverable. That's a good one. That's a good one. I don't know the answer. Kobayashi Maru time. Choose your preferred crew. Just Google DeviantArt. Yeah, there's lots of good DeviantArt stuff. Stanley makes a nifty cameo in the last episode of Starship Farragut. Mike says, but still, it would work more like a Romulan singularity core. I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, the new particle, maybe. For JJ vs. Enterprise A through E. Colin says, I read somewhere that on Voyager they wanted Year of Hell to be a full season arc, but the suits thought it would be too dark and risky. Fun fact. That's very true. True thing. Did you notice that in Prodigy, Kobayashi Maru episode, did you notice the preferred crew was mostly Trek actresses that had died in real life? Spock, Odo. Felt like it was a nice tribute. Yes, did notice that. Voyager had the same problems as Space 1999. I mean, how many Eagles did they have? Lots. The Sovereign and Defiant were built to take on the Borg, so good luck to anyone taking them on. OG Skywatch says, have you seen this video? Klingon battle theme, Star Trek the Motion Picture, metal cover. Yes, it sounds familiar. Very likely I have seen that, yes. Would have loved to see the damage control done on the newer ships. We only see that with Archer's crew. Yeah, but I mean, it's all lower decks type shit, right? You're not going to see that necessarily. But put Deanna at the helm, and truly there was no way to win. What are your thoughts on the direction Discovery is going with the latest season? I like it. It feels Star Trek-y. So I'm happy about that. Hope they keep it up. I think the writers do a much better job. Also heard that because of the budget they had, it would have been more than they had, especially when it came to portraying the ship when it beat up more and more each episode. Yeah, that's the problem, because they filmed a bunch, well, they didn't film. They created a bunch of beauty passes for the ship, so every episode the ship had to look new because they used these same beauty passes. For Year of Hell, it would have been literally hell for them to actually have the ship carry on that damage each episode. So it's a bit of a shame, but it would have been great as a season arc for sure. Prometheus and Intrepid versus Sovereign and Defiant. Well, that's kind of not fair. The Prometheus is 3 ships essentially. That would be a scuffle for sure. I don't know what even to say about that. Sovereign and Defiant. They could punch through the galaxy's shields and blow up the warp core and then double team on the Intrepid. They can't take that much punishment, especially from Quantums. Oof. I think the NS helm training was a crash course. That's good. That's good. That's good. Matthew Mahler. I'd like to know more about Federation ground forces during many of their wars and conflicts besides 1 or 2 episodes. Yeah, I don't really care for the ground force stuff, so... Turd says, Space 1999, if the moon is traveling faster than light to be in the new system, let's say every month, how do the Eagles catch up with the moon? It's magic. Defiant got its ass handed to it by a refit Lakota, a Dominion War refit galaxy would have no problem fight me. Well, first of all, the Defiant was pulling its punches with the Lakota because they didn't want to kill Captain Leah Brahms. Oh, I'm sorry, whatever her actual name was in that episode. So they weren't shooting it, or they weren't engaging it to destroy it or cause critical damage. They just wanted to disable it. So we didn't really see what the Defiant can do against the Lakota, to be fair. Hey, Hez. Does the 4th season of Discovery make up for what came before? It's getting there. I wouldn't say it would make up for a lot of the egregious stuff that happened in season 1, but it's getting there. Would you like to see a new Stargate series? Yes. The rationalization for Space 1999 was that the moon kept hitting space warps and wormholes, otherwise it was just plodding along. My guess is that the engineering would be very involved over it. I mean, O'Brien would be there for sure, and DS9 we get that a little. Over the ship repairs? Yes. Matthew says, what I should have said is there any canonical sources on them? What did you say before here? Not really. Siege of whatever, or the Battle of whatever, I don't remember. That episode is kind of ground forcey, but we cannot get to Little O'Brien. What happened to Lorca's Weird Lab, where he kept the tardigrade in season 1? I thought that room was cool, but never seen it since. Would be great to have the room return. Would be. I don't know what happened to it, or what happened to his menagerie of weird shit. Right. Paul Graham. They were able to manufacture some number of Eagles in Space 1999. Captain Robert April. From what I've been hearing, Discovery is still showing the same ignorance of basic science and story logic. It's more consistent, but that's about it. I disagree with you there a little bit, but it's definitely more watchable and definitely feels a lot more like Star Trek now, so I would imagine there's not a lot of need for ground forces when you can blast targets from orbit. I would disagree with you there. Paul Graham says, for some damn reason, I cannot do a super chat. Just refresh your browser or sign out and sign back in. Seems to fix things. Captain Casey Stewart, Romulan Dideridex and Negvar versus Dominion War Galaxy Class and Sovereign. Jesus Christ, I don't know. I'm not even going to guess. Colin says, the big advantage to the Defiant design is it can get in tight with bigger ships and hit them hard up close, sometimes so close the enemy's ship's weapons arcs can't hit it. Yes. No problem, Matthew. I wish I would have been more help, but Mike says, is it just me or does anyone want to see more of the Alterans and free Jaffa? What's that have to do with anything? General Grievous, I'm a Trek fan, but yeah, Asgard upgraded ship, no question. The Asgard have technology that allowed them to cross galaxies in a week and a half with their hyperdrives. True fact. My eyes are really sore right now. Ugh. General Grievous, their weapons were just as advanced as their engines and shields. I just launched the Genesis device on them already. Moonbase Alpha apparently had an Eagle factory, and they certainly had an entire moon of raw materials. So, Feed Me Seymour says, I bet some prop master has all Lorca's weird shit in their living room. I would. In a piece of the action, they stunned a whole city block. After all, Captain Foley. Yes, they did. They did indeed. They've always threatened that they can destroy large swaths of the planet, too. We never really see it. But it's my pug. I think you're right about hull damage. The structural integrity fields are just for gravitational damage and other twisting effects. Head says you still need ground forces in the future. There could be buildings or things on the planet you don't want to destroy. Orbital bombardment risks destroying that. And a stun might not work in some shielded complexes or underground. So, yeah, you'd want ground forces still. You're never going to get rid of ground forces. I still can't expect the future that discoveries in. I still can't accept the future discoveries in, but they should be further advanced, even though they're lost 125 years. Well, we'll see. How large is a Galore class compared to the other faction's capital ships? The Galore class is. Shit, we've done fact files on these things, or data files. I don't remember the size right now. Did you do a Trekyards episode on the weird shit in Lorca's lab? Yes. During the episode, we covered everything that we saw in there. The Cardassian Vole, the Gorn skeleton, some Klingon weapons on the wall. There was even a P90, like an actual P90 in his weapons display. So, yes. Feed Me Seymour says, time to vape. Are you talking to me or are you talking to you? Captain Robert April, the Defiant is essentially the firepower of a Galaxy-class starship and then some, crammed into a hull the size of a Constitution-class saucer. Do the math from there. Galore class is about the size of the Vorcha and about 1/4 the size of a Galaxy-class. Sounds about right, Fleetpaw, yeah. Turn your lights down and take a bong rip. Don't smoke bong. I don't smoke weed. I can't smoke weed. It's a long story. Turning the lights down, though, might be an idea. But anyway. Sureka Vulcan, what is that black machine behind you with the big dial? It's a time machine. It's a record player. Record player, radio, CD player, cassette player, and Bluetooth all in one unit. So you take that shit off the top, pop it up, you got the record player in there. There you go. You've got tape, phonograph, auxiliary, Bluetooth, CD, and FM radio. So. Yeah, that's going to get copyright strike, so we're just going to stop that there. That's what that is. I would have loved to see what looked like an Inquisitor class, or Inquisitor Saber as a nod to Jason Isaacs' character in Star Wars Rebels. Like how there was a Batleth in Stargate SG-1. Yes, there was a Batleth. Good to have you back. How was dinner? Dinner was good. Cheers, man. Happy Sunday, Cap. Happy Sunday to you as well. Mike says, do you want to see an entire series in the Terran Empire? No. Would need your sexy leg lamp in the background. You need your sexy leg lamp. Hey, it would look good up here, actually. I might consider doing that. Right now it's down on the bar. looks really good on the bar. So, Fortune cruisers were very well done, visually appealing. Would the D7 or Katinga and Bird of Prey be like the Miranda or Excelsior class for the Klingon Empire in the 24th century? I don't know how to answer that. I don't know. We don't know really what ships comprise their fleet. So, go with FASA, I would say no, for sure, because there's other ships that would fill those roles. What is that thing you call vinyl? That's all those. Those are all records. Captain Robert April, no. So why is someone trying to rationalize why they had spare eagles if it was all shitty writing? Feed Me Seymour says, told you it would look good out at the bar. Yeah, you're the reason I did it. Captain Robert April, the availability of eagles is the least of Space 1999's issues. Which reminds me, I have a random small records I got for free at a garage sale a few months ago. Well, hopefully Cole doesn't break them. If so, I could possibly sell them as decorations. I don't think Cole will break them necessarily, but... Do you play STO? Yes, when I have the chance. We've played it live before and had like a bridge party where people beamed over to my ship. Eric Martin, you were on the big screen, so don't put your face too close, okay? Tay. The D7 was always implied to be somewhere compatible with the Constitution class. Yes. Comparable, not compatible. Were they a good match? Could they... You know, they're in my car trunk, thus broken. Oh, if they're broken, they're broken. Fleet Post says, he does, and we have a fleet. Yes, the Team Trekyards fleets. Captain Robert April, frankly, I'm still irritated about their writing out Dr. Bergman. What is that, Space 1999? I am Misi. You think someone rescued Moriarty from the Enterprise D's destruction? He wasn't on the Enterprise D, for fuck's sakes. When they put him in the thing, the holographic matrix thing, they would have left him at a starbase or something. They would not have carried him around on the ship constantly. They would have transferred him to a holographic laboratory of some sorts, much like Dr. Zimmerman's. They would not have left him on the ship. So, yes, he's fine. Don't worry. Stuart, did you have a record collection as a kid? Or was it 8 tracks and cassettes? My dad had a lot of records. He had some 8 tracks for his Ford Torino. He had an 8-track player in the Torino. But me personally, I had cassettes, which I still have a lot of as well. So, yeah. Cool. Apparently vinyl is the best form of playing music I have heard. That's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. I like the crackle and pop of a vinyl, but for clarity, I'd still go digital any day. Off topic a little, Captain, but F-14 versus Airwolf. I love F-14s, but damn, against the helicopter, especially when it's advanced as Airwolf, there's no contest. Paul Graham says, nope, still not working. Well, off to bed. See you later, Paul. Thanks for stopping by. Do you have Star Trek soundtracks on vinyl? I don't. I need to get some. Puggy likes to announce herself. Yes, she does. Peter Lukaku, $10. We are in a new year. Any plans for away missions this year? Comic-Cons, etc.? Well, the original idea was go to the Star Trek convention in Chicago in April. But now with the new Omicron restrictions, we're on lockdown right in here in Ontario. I don't know what's going on with the border, so crossing is going to be a bitch. So probably not. There'll probably be a London Comic-Con here in the city in October or in the fall sometime. There's also Forest City Comic-Con, which I think is in June or July. might go to that one, but nothing outside of Canada, I don't think. So there's no real plans yet, no. I had Star Trek 2 and 3 on vinyl, but I lost them moving to different cities. How can you lose an LP? Eric F., have you seen The Expanse or read the books? Love the universe they built, but it's sad that it's over now, but it inspires me to continue building my own. I haven't read the books. I just almost finished the series. I have one episode left in season 6 to finish, so which I'll watch after this live, actually. Hit that like button, guys. We need one more like to get to 50. Somebody hit the like button. Fleet Paw puts in $2. Puggy snore, drink up. Good Puggy. If you had to take a ship on a 5-year mission of exploration, what class of ship, any era, would you choose? Galaxy class, easy, hands down. Most luxurious, most comfortable, holodecks. You can do whatever you want on the holodeck, be on any ship you want. Definitely Galaxy class. The theme song from Airwolf is Mint. Okay, Airwolf versus Foxfire. That's a rough one. I'm still going to go with Airwolf, just because of the maneuverability of a helicopter versus a jet. I have all the Star Trek movies on Laserdisc, which is the same size as vinyl. Have a good evening, Captain. You too, Eric. Blue Sky, you need that song on vinyl. The F-14 is a big hulking plane and not the most maneuverable, which is why they used them in Top Gun training. Master that, and the F-18 is cake. Okay, you say that, but the F-14 at low altitudes, where the air is thicker, is super fucking maneuverable. Above like 6,000 feet or something, it starts to get a little sloppy. But if you play DCS or have seen DCS gameplay, if you can get the F-14 low and you get in a turning battle with an F-14, you're fucked because of the surface area of those wings and the combat configuration. It will up, but it needs the thick atmosphere. It needs the thick air. When it gets up higher, it's not as maneuverable, but when it's up higher, it's more dangerous because it can kill you 100 miles away. So, yeah. Would a Knight Rider be considered sci-fi? Yes, it would, even though Samuel doesn't think so. Aaron says, looking for a good Trek-based book series to get on Amazon to read this year. Captain, what would you recommend? Trek-based book. Oh, Coda. Coda is apparently good. I haven't read any of them. But the Vanguard series. If you get the Star Trek Vanguard series, you will not be disappointed. Sarah Vulcan says, I put you over the top for 50 likes. Thank you so much. We're not 57, which is awesome, guys. So thank you. Eric F says he hit it for the 50. Whoa, see. Ooh, Jeff Sturm says he hit it. Oh, you guys got to fight it out. Who did it? To cure Omicron, all you need is an Optimus Prime vaccination. Used to have Emergency and Godzilla story records. I've got some of the Star Trek 45s down there as well. It's a Star of a Fleaver and Invictus Veritas. Or Invicto, I don't know, one of them. Yep, Galaxy-class starships with their 5 daycare centers. Yes. I've been rewatching Knight Rider since it's on Netflix now. It's on Netflix? Maybe not in Canada. Damn it. Oh well. Mike says, a fleet of death gliders and a hot talk versus a Defiant. Who would win? The Defiant, I'm just going to say it. Did they ever show the Airwolf pack? Airwolf pack. Pack of Airwolves like wolves? No. They hit the kindergarten on deck 5. Oh my god. Play the Airwolf theme in the car on the way to anywhere. Trust me, you'll get there quicker. Yeah, it's in my cruising playlist. And it's like the cops don't even realize that the speed limit's different when you listen to that. Like, what the fuck? Do you have a model of Baran Baran's mercenary ship. Baran. Who's Baran? You mean the merchantman ship from Star Trek 3? Is that who you're talking about? Because yes, I love that ship. F-14 was a work of art. Yes, it was. Airwolf theme song, perfect for driving. Ward Carroll's channel was the F-14 pilot. F-14 was retired too early. Ward Carroll was not an F-14 pilot. He was an F-14 Rio. And yes, I watch his channel all the time. Eric Martin says he was a Rio. I think David Hasselhoff is sci-fi. Anything better than the F-4 trailing a smoke trail that says that America can make even a brick fly and if you put big enough engines behind it. Loved Airwolf, but it's totally impossible for helos to hit anything or Mach anything. Also, Ernest Borg 960 something doing Mach 3 accelerations and not stroking out. Yeah, that's believable. Well, David Hasselhoff did play Nick Fury in a movie, though. He did. Thought about the possible time travel in Prodigy. That could mean there were two Captain Chakotay's in the Delta Quadrant during Voyager. One still serving with Janeway, and the future one lost in the past. Distinct possibility, yes. The Ori prior versus Klingons. Who would win? I don't know. I hate these who would win ones. Moving on. The Darth Eddy. The F-4 was a good fighter and robust with a great payload, but the F-14 was a lot better. Oh, yes. David Hasselhoff was Nick Fury before Samuel Jackson. And the Baran was in a spin-off series, I think. Hasselhoff was an actor. Remember Garth? Baran's mercenary ship is from the episode where Picard goes undercover and retrieves the ancient Vulcan telepathic weapon. Yes. I'm trying to remember what that ship looks like now. I don't recall what it looks like. I probably don't have it then. Garth was amazing. He was like Bendo, Reflexo, the evil Bender. Captain, keep your Camaro or get a screen used kit. Keep my Camaro. Screen used kit would be pretty beat up and not really fully functional. Now, a fully new build of kit with all the new like actual working stuff, that's another question. I'd probably still keep my Camaro, but I always wanted a kit. I want to see both Nick Fury and the upcoming Marvel film like we only saw those Spidey's in the last one. Dun dun dun. Actually, Nick Fury Hasselhoff was made by 20th Century Fox, so in theory, he and Hugh Jackman Wolverine are from the same universe. Think multiverse. Knight Rider now in 2022 is a more science fact than science fiction. Kid is like Alexa, but with much different purpose and an attitude. What is the budget for the Camaro next year? No idea, dude. Kind of racked up on credit cards right now, so I really don't know. Time travel is not realistic. The whole universe is expanding and spinning at incredible speeds, just saying it. Anyone know if the lower decks joke about the Enterprise having 5 daycare centers is a reference to the number of sets used to portray a daycare center during TNG? Very likely that's the case. Don't know for sure though. Brand's ship looked like a scarab beetle. Also, the actor who played him died under very mysterious circumstances. Dun dun dun. If I remember right, it kind of looks like a Lyran ship from Starfleet Battles. Okay, I gotta look that up now. Baran's ship. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up. See what we got going on here. Where the buck's Google? There it is. Hold on, I gotta let that finish doing what it's doing first. If Captain Chakotay is stranded in the past, it won't be the first time in Trek such a thing has happened. The NX-01 had a future version of itself trapped in the past 117 years or so. Star Trek, third rock from the sun crossover, unlimited wish list. Nice. Baran's ship had some kind of stealth coating, didn't it? Yes, I believe so. I just want to say you do a great job. I like watching Trekyards for all the in-depth information you point out in all the starships. It's cool. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. We try. We try very hard. Fleet pause, but did they not have it as a centerpiece in that series of megaparticles set in Andromeda 2? What? Well, Shatner did play a giant big head. Captain Foley, have you ever seen the Final Wars Gatango ship? No, can't say as I have. Hey, Captain, I want to say thank you for being awesome. I look forward to these live feed videos. They make my day. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. Much appreciated. It's good to hear that kind of thing, so thank you. Mike says, have you ever noticed that Teal'c has the same design on the side panels? The Teltac has the same design on the side panels that's on the Stargate. Did not notice. Well, Kirk has a giant head. The sun should be easy to do. Yeah, I enjoy Trekyards and Fleet Yards because I'm trying to write my own sci-fi thing, even for just myself. That's awesome. Just popping in to wish you well, Captain Foley. Live on and prosper. Thank you very much, Jeff Broadbent. Robert says, well, Video Bob Mosley can build you a kit replica, Captain Foley. He has a YouTube channel. I don't have the money for that shit. I'd rather put that money into the Camaro. My kid has gotten into the 90s Gargoyles cartoon, and now all I hear is him playing the theme song on his Alexa. You ever see the movie Free Enterprise? Hilarious. Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies, and I'm good friends with Rob Burnett. So I actually got a signed copy from him of the new extended edition of that movie. Because I had the old one, and I took it to him when we went to LA for him to sign it. And he says, no. What do you have this for? He gives me the special two-disc one with the extended footage and stuff. And he's like, here, use this one. I'll sign this one for you. Take the other one that you had and use it as a coaster. So, yes. And according to Rob Burnett, I'm his second favorite Canadian. His first favorite, obviously, is William Shatner. So that's how he signed the autograph. He's like, to my second favorite Canadian. I'm like, who's your first favorite Canadian? He's like, Shatner. It's like, oh, okay. Captain, are you into Halo games and franchise? No, not really. So I'm just going to stop reading. Actually, I'd introduce an alien race from Third Rock from the Sun and have Shatner reprise the big giant head. Minds would explode. Shatner is back in Trek, but not as Kirk. The videos and channels are awesome. The Q&As and lives are be easy and safe. Captain, which ship designer do you think has the best looking ships? Can't really, it's like picking favorites, man. Probably John Eves has the most, like the biggest repertoire. I don't know, they're all great. I can't answer that. Actual warp rebel was recently in a lab in Google. Yes. The main humor would be the Third Rock, but I don't care about Third Rock. Do you think the ring transports are more realistic in how they would work? Maybe. I don't know. I don't like ring ships. I don't like the look. So the fact that that's an actual... It would make sense for travel, I guess, for real world, which is fine, but I really do not like... I do not like them. I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like ring ships with ham. Carlos says good night. Good night. I think I'm going to call it wraps myself. Been going for over an hour now, so a little bit longer than I kind of anticipated to. So thank you guys. Still haven't finished my beer, but that's okay. 61 likes is good. Yes, Eric, kind of. It's actually going to be used for a Star Trek movie called The Planet of the Titans. It's based off Ralph McQuarrie's Enterprise ship design, so. Ring ships literally fell off the space basketball court. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go watch the last episode of The Expanse because I can. And I am Misi throws in $5. Have a good night. Have a good night to you as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're probably doing a live tomorrow afternoon. Maybe, I think. I don't know. Maybe not, actually. It might be Tuesday. I don't know. I don't know if we're doing it live tomorrow night. But yeah, I'll see you guys this week for sure. So anyway, have a good one, guys, and I'll catch you later. Bye, everybody. Oh. Chest pain. Hi, Peg. I know. It's time. She's ready to go.